Hi, my name's Juliet, and today I'm giving you an overview tour of what's in the new Scrivener 3 for Windows compile screen. For more information on what I'd like to do with future compile videos, because I'd like your input, please watch till the end. Let's dive right in. Well, not quite. When I opened Scrivener on writing this on the 28th of April, there was an update with a lot of bug fixes, some of them relating to compile. So please bear in mind that there might be slight changes to the look of compile in the future, and although those changes might be only minor cosmetically, they might be important in terms of function. Okay, logging back in. I've maximised the compile screen here so that it's easier to see. First, at the top, where it says Compile For, is where you choose the type of output, so whether it's a paper format or an ebook. As you select them, the page defaults change. No matter which compile format you choose, you have three sections: Format, Section Layouts, and Compile. Let's look at that last one first. This is mainly where you select what you want included in your compile. You'll see a pull-down menu that says Compile. This is where you select the part of your project you want compiled. It automatically says Manuscript, but you may not want the whole thing, so you can select only a certain section. Next to that, you also have a filter option, where you can select parts of your document. If you've used Scrivener 1, you'll recognise the tick box format, where you select which individual documents are included in the compile. You'll notice here that the section types are also listed. See my video on that if you don't know what they are. I'll put a link up top for that. If you look at the pull-down, you can see whether each type is manually selected or based on the hierarchical structure. So if you haven't sorted this out beforehand, you can change it here if you need to, although I still think it would be better to do it as you write your manuscript. At the bottom of this section is where you can add front and back matter. Back matter is new. Whether or not you use these will depend on how you construct your files and folders. Right, back to the bar at the top. This changes depending on the compile format, but includes things such as metadata and what you do and don't want included from the typed page. In the centre of the screen are the section types selected within your document. If you've watched that video I mentioned, you'll see my old document section appearing there, and only the other formats that I chose for the project, which were chapter heading and scene, plus a random not applicable. No idea what that is yet, but anyway, this is where you choose the formatting. In paper formats you can choose to globally change the font, but not for ebook and some other formats. Each section box does have an individual edit function, but you cannot edit the standard formats. You have to duplicate and make your own. I'm not going to do that now. Clearly another video topic, but know that the option is there. Down the left is a list of standard formats for the type of output you've chosen. This is the Microsoft Word page, so there are two paperback options. My initial thought on that is why only two, because I often don't use either of those sizes. But I know a lot of people use 6x9 because that's Amazon's default. Each of these has different layout options in the central section. Down the bottom of the central section, you'll see Assign Section Layouts. This is where you define the actual section formats. This, I find, is really confusing to look at first, but you can play around with it without causing any issues. Okay, that's a very brief overview of the compile window. There are so many follow-up options here, and this is where I need your input. What do you want to see in terms of a full run-through on how to compile a file? Current options I have: New ebook, no frills. Converting a Scrivener 1 file and getting it compile ready for an ebook. Paperback with specific fonts and headings. Ebook with parts. Ebook with graphic headings. Ebook with graphics in the text. But I'm sure there are others that people regularly use. Obviously, I'll be doing some elements of compile separately too. I can't promise any of these will be in the next couple of weeks. They're going to be quite labour intensive. I'll definitely start with the basic ebook, but what comes next could be down to you. And I'll be doing a few shorter videos on other elements of Scrivener 3 to slot in between. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for any suggestions you might make, and if you've subscribed, I'll see you again soon.